With the stock market inching to nearly all-time highs, all eyes are on the Fed, the money supply, and risk on assets. But what if I told you that things are about to get so big for Bitcoin that we might have to rename it to Bigcoin? So if you understand that this quietness and calmness that we're seeing is only the quietness and calmness that we see before the biggest, greenest candle that humankind has ever seen, hit that like and subscribe. Get signed up with Femex below if you want Bitcoin, altcoins, or trade as well. You can now register for up to a $5 million USDT competition with Femex. You can get signed up with my team below. If you just scroll down, type in Tyler, and you can see we already have people that have joined big time. Trading does begin on June 9th, so you still have a couple of days to get in before it starts. And without any further ado, let's absolutely dunk into some insane posts that will leave you literally shaking and crying on the floor for one reason, because we're about to make a lot of money, specifically if you are invested in the right places, because there are a lot of things happening right now that people will appreciate in just a few months. But right now, maybe they don't see the bigger picture. On a gold standard, like in the 1970s, the very beginning of the 1970s, the annual income would be massively, basically about $1 million, almost. $1 million today per year is what an annual income would be. Meaning, what you're getting for your money, for your work, the money that you're making now, just because of how bad inflation has gotten, is awful. I mean, so many people watching absolutely feel this, right? Everyone does. I mean, you used to be able to get like a hash brown at McDonald's for like 50 cents or something like that. I mean, if you go back even further, it was way cheaper than that. But even just like a couple of decades ago, and now like getting one hash brown is like, I think maybe like $4 or something. There's a million examples of how expensive everything is. But basically, this system that we are in, which is not backed by gold anymore since ever since the beginning of the 1970s, just it's backed by nothing, just infinite money printing, it steals your time, it steals your value, and that is why you can work 40, 50 hours a week and feel like you really don't have any extra money or really your money just does not go very far. Why doesn't it feel like that? Because it doesn't go very far. You are not able to, every year that goes by, inflation steals more and more money from you. And this is a long post just showing more evidence and data of like specifically why. But Bitcoin does solve this. And slowly, every year, more and more people are waking up to this. More and more people that were on the boat saying Bitcoin's a scam, it's only used for money laundering and stuff like that. They do a little bit of research, because it's all it takes is a little bit of research. To not be ignorant to the truth. And then once you do that research, you start thinking, okay, I need to basically be investing all of my excess money and all of my value, storing it in Bitcoin. And that's slowly been, the strategy people are waking up to. Also, according to Joe Burnett on X, everybody is too bearish. Nobody expects a $500,000 Bitcoin in the next 12 months. Even a lot of people that are bullish on Bitcoin, which is absolutely true. A lot of the people in my comments are people that are invested in Bitcoin and are bullish on it, but they don't think it's realistic. But when cash on the sideline peaks, basically that's the signal to start buying, basically to get invested. And you can see the money market funds showing the total financial assets are just exploding. There's a lot of money on the sidelines. Why? Well, I'll let you try and take a guess. But European central banks have also cut rates to about 2%. The Fed is next. Yeah, I believe the Fed is going to be cutting soon. We're going to see interest rates on homes drop soon. I think a lot of money is going to be freed up, and a lot of people are going to start getting a little more speculative, I guess you could say. But buying Bitcoin isn't crazy, according to River. Not buying Bitcoin when you know they're about to print trillions of more dollars is. Look at the national debt, by the way. Look at the national debt. It doesn't take, you don't have to like Bitcoin. You don't have to be very educated in finance. You don't have to have any prerequisites to understand that the U.S. national debt is exploding, right? I mean, trillions of dollars. By the way, never going to get paid back unless maybe the U.S. adopts maybe a Bitcoin standard. The only chance, there's a slim chance, that's the only viable way that something like that could happen. But truly, we are seeing people slowly start to wake up and understand the value proposition of Bitcoin. I mean, there's so many. Again, I guess I probably shouldn't just waste your time saying all the things that are good about Bitcoin in a Bitcoin video, because 99% of people watching, I think, probably already hold Bitcoin. But I mean, anyway, as we do know as well, JPMorgan plans to allow clients to use the BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF as collateral for loans. I remember just a few years ago, Jamie Dimon calling Bitcoin a fraud. Now his bank is accepting it as capital. Funny how things change, right? This is how it wins. One person at a time, who very likely is very reluctant to say anything positive about Bitcoin or allow Bitcoin to do anything within their business as it pertains to, a CEO of a bank like Jamie Dimon. But it happens, and it has been happening every single year. And if you don't see the writing on the wall now, you are just not looking at the wall. You're just ignoring it. It's right in front of your face. And it's every person. Every person has a different reason. Everybody that doesn't like Bitcoin has a different reason why, or a different reason why they choose to ignore it. But at the end of the day, also there is also one reason why those same people have those different reasons. The main reason, actually the only reason, is because they haven't done any research into it. Right? You can have a million reasons why you say, I can't buy Bitcoin. But at the end of the day, there's only one real reason why people don't buy it. And it's because they haven't researched it and they don't understand it. And if they did research it, which would then lead to an understanding of it, they would be buying it like a baby cow drinks milk. I don't know. Baby cows drink a lot of milk, I assume, right? But if you understood it, you would be buying it. It is that black and white. And if you don't understand it, you won't buy it, right? But that's a good thing, I think. Meaning, if you understand it, it's a good thing. It feels like Bitcoin wants about $1.25, meaning $125,000 per coin, with the M2 money supply, showing us with this lag of about 11 weeks, that 10, 11, 12 weeks, that it has exploded. Bitcoin is on track to do the same, just like it has been doing the past couple of months as well. We also see that one of these days, according to Pentoshi, Bitcoin is going to break out versus gold and never look back. It is the fastest growing ETF in history. Younger generations will sell their parents' gold for digital gold, being Bitcoin. You can always discover more gold. You cannot do that with Bitcoin. There will only ever be 21 million. Keep in mind, about 4 to 5 million of that thought to be lost permanently. So basically, there's not 21 million that you can dabble in. There's less than that because some of it is permanently lost. Millions of Bitcoin permanently lost. It's easy to use. It's easy to move around. It's the breakout that will really send us, not the USD one, meaning Bitcoin paired versus gold, not versus USD. Okay, big distinction there. We also see the Bitcoin bids are strong here. This dip will fail, just like all the ones we're seeing. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's people are waking up. Especially, it's not even just people. It's billion-dollar hedge funds and companies that are also now awake to it, and largely why I think Bitcoin has gone up over the past year and a half, since the beginning of 2024, because of the exposure they can get with the ETFs, but also more importantly, because big money is also waking up to this option. Not only just an option, the best option, the more you research it, the only option, if you want to actually not part ways with your capital. There will be no deficit reduction, and it cannot be paid down or mitigated through growth. The only two possibilities are hyperinflation or rebasing to Bitcoin. The outcome is the same. And we also see, again, the Bitcoin therapist, this is just a very easy little formula, right? Is not, I mean, really, I like how it says your money. It's not really your money if you keep it in USD, because they print more and more of it, right? If I made a currency, think about it this way. If I made a currency, I just printed off some papers and I gave a couple people like $100, and then they could use that. Let's say for $1, they could let's call it Tyler bucks, right? If I gave you 100 Tyler bucks, and if you came to my store and I gave you a car for 5 Tyler bucks, and then you could buy a house maybe for 30 Tyler bucks, right? But then I decided, you know what? I want to print more of it. I want to have a lot. I only gave myself 100 Tyler bucks. I want to have 1,000,000 Tyler bucks. Then your measly 100 Tyler bucks not going to go very far, right? That's exactly what the government does. They just print more and more of it, and every hour that you work for your $20 an hour, $30 an hour, $50 an hour paycheck, or income, it's not worth that. It's actually less and less and less every single time they print money, which is very often. And guess who also benefits when the Fed starts printing money, or the government starts printing money? The Fed. Bitcoin does. Because it does not inflate, it deflates. Meaning the longer you hold on to Bitcoin, the more value it actually, the real value it actually has, which is the exact opposite of what USD or other fiat currencies is, because they just print unlimited amounts of them. It's a very simple concept. And that concept alone, if you didn't understand Bitcoin before or don't understand it now, that concept alone should have you asking a million questions, should have you absolutely fearful of just keeping all of your money in a bank in USD or something. It's literally the silliest thing to do. And more people slowly understand that. And look at this, the average US investor owns about 0.3% of their net worth in Bitcoin. See this tiny little sliver right here? That is Bitcoin. Why is this a beautiful chart? Why is this a beautiful pie chart? Because it shows you how early we still are. In the next few years, this blue right here, which is currently stocks, Bitcoin is going to occupy a sliver bigger than this. Bigger than this. Eventually, Bitcoin you will actually be able to see the color red. Right here, you see the color red is Bitcoin. You can't really even see it. You have to like squeeze your eye or squint and zoom in to see that this is Bitcoin. This chart is going to be overtaken by Bitcoin in the future. Not the whole thing, but there's so much room for growth. We are still so early. And also, according to Gel on X, the post-breakout consolidation is currently occurring. The calm before the storm. Absolutely. I don't really have to, explain more than that, in my opinion. I think that these moments, which we have seen many times over the past couple of months, a couple of years actually. Look at this, just consolidation before next legs higher, before it moves higher. And I think we're accelerating a little bit. I think we're actually going to hit some of these targets and just start going up a little more parabolic once more and more people understand. And also, let's not ignore the fact that Bitcoin is now concretely cementing a six-figure price, meaning $100,000 and above. This whole thing right here was Bitcoin getting above 100K for the first time, and 100K technically this right here is about 100K. This range here, yeah, we like spent for the very first times we got above it. Now what we're doing is consolidating above it, and soon it will act as a launch pad before we go higher and higher. Give it a couple years. This line right here is going to be the $1 million per Bitcoin. It's going to, $100,000 in the future is going to be a steal. Just like $1,000 per Bitcoin. When Bitcoin first hit $1,000, people thought, holy crap, this is a giant bubble. It should not be worth $1,000. It's going to go crash back down to zero. And the crazy thing is, at that time, that technically was, not impossible, but it was somewhat realistic. Now, as time has shown, time is the best measure of something, right? I mean, like, the longer time goes on, the more something proves itself, the more confident people are in it. This is true with like anything. If say you're in a relationship and or say you meet somebody and you've known them for like 3 days, you probably shouldn't have a lot of trust in them. But then if they prove themselves over and over and over again as a good partner and they show good traits and qualities over years, then they deserve your trust, right? Because they prove themselves over and over and over again. It's the same thing with anything. And so the longer Bitcoin has gone on, the more that it's shown that it can withstand economic collapses and all of these different political and economic uncertainties that plagues everything. And the stronger that Bitcoin comes out of those tragedies and those emergencies, the stronger it is, the more robust and the more confidence people get in it. And they decide, hey, you know what? Maybe this is not like a fluke that's just going to pass by. And in fact, maybe I missed the boat and I was wrong about it. And that's what Bitcoin has done better than anything else, is prove people wrong over and over and over again. But there's also infinite real qualities of why that's going to keep happening. And the only way you figure those out is by doing what I talked about earlier in the video. Very simple, researching it, actually trying to educate yourself on it. And get signed up with FemX below if you want Bitcoin, altcoins, or trades. Sign up for the competition. The registration ends in 3 days and 17 hours. So sign up below if you want to take part. You can just go down here and join the team, Tyler is Crypto. Without any further ado,